I wash my clothes. I got that.
Oh. Hey, everyone. I think the best part about this is that something goes wrong every episode.
There's always something. Like we
It's
never.
great.
Hopefully that stops this time.
I don't know.
It's
We ain't never gonna get it
amazing.
right.
We ain't
We
never
ain't
had a
never gonna
smooth
get it right.
Never,
intro.
ever.
We're doing this
This
shit
season,
for a year straight. We've never had a smooth
we've
intro.
had,
We never will.
no. At least this season.
Never
This
will.
season, we have not had one. We've had one smooth intro this entire season. Just one.
That
Next
video
one,
was
second.
kind of cool though. I ain't even gonna lie.
I
The
mean,
intro?
I
Thank you.
mean, I like the. I was really rocking on the. You know what I mean? That's a high intro. I go front.
Appreciate it.
That's a high
Appreciate it.
intro.
Well, as always, I am your man, K Marvel.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy QS. Now don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do
What's
that.
up, everybody? It's your
I'm
boy,
sorry.
the Big Stretch.
I'm sorry.
And missing on today's episode is our guy, Striker Dragoon. So, brother, we're out here for you. And as always, we are the Four Corners of Commentary. So, you know what? We're going to do it like this today. We're going to keep it a little bit. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so boom. I know, being this is November. I think it's also besides it also being, I think it's Diabetes Awareness Month. I know that.
That's correct.
And of course, salute to about to introduce my boys in a few. Salute to us. Being type 1 diabetics.
Nice.
Over here, 27 years with this. But also this month, I saw it as entailed a lot on social media. I guess it happened to be Men's Mental Health Month. So I guess, and I said, this episode, I think it would be cool to like start it off. We did have a mental health episode like about last year, and we didn't touch on it. We didn't touch on it for like a good minute. Last season we touched on it. So now I said, why not? He's gonna get straight into it. Like, let's bring it back a little bit more. Like get more into it ourselves. Let's get like, get right over here. Like, just reflect back and forth. Why not? I think it would be a little therapeutic. So I figured I'd just call my boys over here and just like have this conversation. Why not? So I'll just say, gentlemen, if y'all want to introduce yourselves, you can. The floor is yours.
Appreciate that, man. Freud Cassius, one half of the Fillmore Boys podcast.
Well, I thought you were still talking about Mari, second half of Fillmore Boys podcast.
Yeah,
You already
we
know.
are the Fillmore Boys.
That's
Well, we really are on a lot of platforms, huh?
But I mean, but for real,
Listen, man, you
I
gotta let
guess,
the people know. You gotta let the people know.
yeah.
Absolutely.
But I guess, started off, I guess, like for all y'all, like my G's, like how y'all doing? Like how's everybody like really like feeling now? Like how y'all feeling? Like it's been like it's kind of a rough year. For some it's a rough month, it's a rough couple months. Like, we almost to the end. But how's everybody feeling like now? Like just give a backstory if you want to. Like,
Well, you about to say something, bro?
Nah, man, the floor is yours first.
What's
You got
yours?
it.
Listen,
I've been
good forum.
cool. My birthday just passed, so I've been just relaxing, enjoying the birthday weekend.
Yeah, happy belated. Yeah.
related, my G,
Yeah.
happy belated.
I was praying to the day off, but it was snatched away from me due to this opportunity. So yeah.
Yo, bro, how was your birthday?
It was cool, to be honest with you. I just chilled.
When was it?
No, the 5th. No, I said the 5th, the 10th. 5
Oh,
days.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm about to say you don't know your birthday, bro.
No.
One,
I meant to say 5 days ago, but then I said the 5th. That's what I was like. I don't know why I said the 5th.
G's up to another year on Earth.
Facts. Like after a while, it don't really
You said he's 65?
Now I said another 365.
Oh,
I thought you
That's
just
like,
like,
oh,
saying
man.
earlier. That's why I was like,
I was about to say,
damn.
brother looking good for his age. He's 65 years old doing this
That is
podcast. All
messed
right.
up.
Nah,
Still
not
knowledgeable
like that.
about your shit. That's impressive, sir.
Mine's still sharp, you know.
You know.
I thought he was trying to make an old joke. I'm like, I hold my chat thing right next to him so y'all could like see me like.
Nah, bro. You are a geezer though, but not that old.
But yeah, like
Yeah, I bet you.
everything's been good though. Just
I put money on it. You're not older than me.
How much money? How much money you trying to put up on that?
$2.
How old are you?
I don't even know
I'm
anymore.
kind of
34.
confident in my bet.
Yeah.
You said what?
You
34.
don't know
Oh
anymore?
no, yeah, you older than me. Yeah, I'm 31.
Get my money, bitch.
Yo.
I'm gonna really give you $2.
Podcast getting off to a rousing start. ladies.
Oh,
Talk
yeah,
about
you know.
talk about times are hard. Let's
Right.
You know I pay up when I lose them little petty bets, so I'm gonna really send you that $2.
Nah, it's cool.
Figured as much.
Oh man, it's funny.
Courtney Holland said he older than all of us. Oh man.
Oh, Court, yeah. Oh, listen, nobody saying anything, Court. That's on you.
Yeah.
By the way, shout out to Courtney. She's part of the. I almost said Midtown. That's horrible. Midwest. Oh man, I'm messing up the podcast name. That's horrible.
Lord of mercy.
I ain't mean to say he. My
Lot of
fault, Courtney.
mercy. It's horrible.
Midwest Marks podcast.
Marks. There you
Midwest
go. I
Marks.
almost said
Lord,
Maniacs. There's a.
Midwest Marks.
I'm tired, man.
Midwest
don't judge
March?
me.
Midwest Marks.
The
Marks?
wrestling.
Yeah.
The wrestling
Yeah, it's like,
podcast.
yeah, it's like a nice
Midwest
little
Marks.
yeah,
Yeah.
March, like nice little
Excuse
wrestling.
me. Excuse that.
wrestling
excuse,
insult.
Excuse my mess up. Excuse my F up. Well, talk about F ups. Let's see. I guess my life is decent. My mentals, I mean, I've been going through it personally. Just my own little personal piece of hell. But you know, pushing and trying to stay busy and keep my mind, trying to stay positive and or trying to regain that positivity that's gotten me to where I'm at now, and just trying to find my self worth, and we can dig into all of that later, but
Okay.
or some of that later, but that's I mean essentially that's me. You know what I mean? So
No, that's cool. I understand. I understand that. That's cool.
Ooh,
Oh.
message.
Who's next?
Yeah,
We passing the baton here.
Well,
mean,
you
like,
talking? You talking?
The floor is everyone's if you want.
Well, I mean, I guess I'll go next. I mean, things are pretty good. I can't complain. Recently got a new job in the field I was studying in August,
Good
and that's
shit.
been going
Congrats.
really well.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. By trade, I'm a therapist. Now I'm an FFT therapist, functional family therapy. So I work with an organization in which we work with families that have active ACS cases and give them alternatives, other than letting ACS get involved and do what they do. So we
Okay.
work in conjunction with them, trying to give them relief, trying to give them therapeutic measures. I would say that the only time my mental has been off is when I take my work home with me. Like, I work with a lot of people and a lot of different families who go through a lot of different situations, and it's hard for them, and sometimes it's hard to like decompress, like after certain sessions and stuff, when people argue or you really see what like some of the stuff the kids go through and everything. Like, you can ask these two gentlemen. I call them all the time after something go down, like, yo, y'all won't, like, I gotta talk to somebody, like, just to calm down after the shit that I heard and that go through and everything. But for confidentiality purposes, I can't go detail too much. But
The state is watching. We know.
right, yeah, the state's always watching. You mind Kyle all the time. The state's always watching. You mess up that little girl, we'll be on your ass like white on rice, Kyle. Don't
Stop
forget
it.
that.
Stop it.
So,
Stop
I'm
it.
only messing with Kyle. Kyle's an amazing father. But
Decent.
Yeah, like just hearing stories of other people's pain and stuff, it could take a toll on you sometimes. But I got these two gentlemen, I got Striker, I got a lot of other people in my corner, that I could decompress to and talk to and stuff. The staff that I work with on my job is amazing as far as like getting me to detail things and sort through things. So I'm pretty lucky in the respect that I do have people I could go out and talk to and everything and tell them what's on my mind and not get judged for it. I'm a therapist with got a bunch of people who's willing to listen to them also. So
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Appreciate that.
Oh, it's my turn or
I mean, you already come on now. You know the voice got to go last. You know the
yeah,
voice got to go
Say the
the,
last.
the voice gotta go last.
The
Yeah,
voice
Morgan
got.
Freeman
Oh
definitely
my
got to go
god.
last.
The narrator, right?
Yeah.
So I'll say I've been in better moods than than earlier this year. Of course, you still got certain things that you have to deal with. Like I'm trying to transition from my job and just put all into my craft as far as the podcast, as far as doing the open mics and stuff like that. I'm just basically getting to a point where of doing things that make me happy, and then if I gotta hustle like doing Uber Eats and stuff like that, that I'm gonna just have to do that until like what I want come into fruition. So job stress, there's always family stress. But my personal stress, like I wouldn't say it's as high as it was earlier this year, because I'm starting to learn how to deal with a lot of stuff. And I used the Fillmore Boys podcast and any podcast we go to when we talk about mental health to just let my shit go. So I use any platform I have, like whether it be my Instagram or Facebook or whatever, even here, like just to decompress and just vomit all my thoughts, especially the poetry. So that's definitely helped me out. But yeah, man, I'll say I'm in a decent point right now. I'm in a decent mood. Just like I said, just dealing with everything head on.
I hear that. I mean, we got some last. Um, uh,
Last.
to be fair,
Ooh.
I would say I really all jokes aside for real. I really would see. I'd say my how I feel lately is kind of like in the middle. Like one minute it's okay. It's like I feel like everything is smooth and still. But then the next
Mhm.
minute it's like a raging tidal wave. Just rage. It's like the waves are just raging all over left and right. And I always put that to, like I said, going through a lot. Going to therapy. Still dealing with grief counseling, trying to and then like coming to accept like a lot of things that happened. I guess into like me personally in the past that were traumatic. I guess trying to like accept it and make peace, trying to make peace with it and moving forward. Especially when you like going to therapy, trying to deal with that, you really start to realize like, this is really not a walk in the park. It's not a cakewalk. It really, doing the work is actually probably the hardest thing that I've had to like ever deal with. And I mean, endure. But I would say like, even like now, I think I feel it even more. I feel it weighing on me even more now. I think it's because it's the holidays. The holidays is coming. And still feel that every now and then you feel like you miss the ones that you do want here. You miss them even more. Like you just know that they're not physically in the present. So it brings the mood down even more. And it's gotten to the point where I think like for like holidays, I actually don't even feel the joy. Like before, when I
Mm.
had like
You
joy to
feel like
give, like
Christmas, right?
yeah, like you have joy giving gifts and now you're like going out gift giving or like doing the things for all the people that you love, what that counts. Like I could still do it, but there's like zero joy that like comes from it. It's just like it's just not there. And I don't want to like make it seem like it's being pessimistic or anything, but I think that's just me like trying to work through it, trying to like I guess I wouldn't even say I'm trying to go back to what I was before. I'm just trying to go back. Not even trying to go back. I'm trying to just get to a point now where I can make peace with everything that has happened, that is still happening, and I could just still be okay and just keep moving forward.
Pardon.
I got
So
you. Yes, I feel you 100%, bro.
Mhm.
I
That's
feel you
a
100%.
sorrowful but very normal circumstance when dealing with grief. It just happens to bring down like motivation and mood towards certain things like all across the board. So it's not easy, man.
I just in that retrospect, I guess I went through it the other day or last week with my uncle's passing, as you guys know.
Oh, my
Um,
condolences, bro. My
Well,
Thank you. He
condolences.
condolences.
passed. Well, he passed 2 years ago. His the anniversary of his passing was last week, and not too long ago was his birthday. So, just when you're in that hole, and things tend to hit a little harder, and with his death being such a shock,
Hmm.
um, so between that and my thought process, the combination made it so much harder. Um, so yeah, man, it's not easy, and now I'm learning now at this stage of especially at this stage in my life, and with how old I am and not dealing with death as often, I'm now experiencing that seasonal grief, or I don't want to call it seasonal depression, but I want to call it seasonal grief, because especially if you are one of those people who are tightly knit with their families, um and that's not, well, not kind of, that's how we are. So holidays come around, and he was like that glue that kept everybody together. Not saying we're all apart now, but I mean, like, physically, like, to get somewhere sometimes, like, he took care of us. So it's rough. When we've all experienced loss. So seasons are some or holiday season is sometimes the worst time.
Uh, um, I, okay, I could agree with you. I agree with you fully. I understand. I know what you're trying to say. Yeah, it's true. Especially around like seasons. Yeah, the depression, it kind of like it does become crippling. Um, like seasonal depression, seasonal grief can turn into crippling depression. And I mean, I know it's hard when you lose someone in like your friend group or lose someone in your family that's like the glue of everything, or like the tight knit, like keeps everybody in contact, everyone together. When they're gone, it comes as a shock. I get it. I get that. It's just like I guess this is again one of the many things a part about life. It's so crazy. Like we've always been we're always been so like we've been conditioned to like always think about living, trying to live, make money, do this, do that, to live life, all that. But we're never been conditioned to like even prepare ourselves for death. And death is the one true thing that's actually absolute. Like that's gonna happen no matter what. Like everybody gotta go, and I'm like that's truth. Everybody has to go, but you don't. You're not. No one ever teaches you how to like deal with the fact of losing this person like that you were so close to or you were next to. Like they don't. No one ever prepares you for that. Like you never been conditioned to even like try to give tools on like how to deal with it or how to maneuver through it. I just find that to be a little interesting. I actually even find it more interesting when it comes to like do these situations or like cases of like depression, case of suicide. I find it shocking that men don't really like talk about it enough.
Well, I could understand why they didn't talk about it enough, right? So it's like there's how could I say it? Like since birth, there's so much pressure put on our backs to be a protector, provider. But it's just like, okay, I'm here to sit. I'm gonna have to be Superman or Batman, but who's gonna be my Superman? Who's gonna be my Batman? You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Right.
we have to go through those. Like we're basically learning so much bullshit just to unlearn it at a critical time of our age, like especially like now, because we're dealing with a pandemic. We're dealing with being away from families and friends and loved ones. So it's kind of hard. Like it's hard, and now we're getting to a point. It's just like, okay, you can't sweep the dust under the rug no more. We have to actually, like, okay, vacuum this shit so you could just get rid of it.
Right.
But to get rid of it, you have to deal with it head on. This is why mental health is so important now, and a lot of men are starting to be open about therapy. A lot of men are starting to be open about their emotions, because before we couldn't. It's not that we couldn't, but it was shunned upon to have those kind of emotions.
Mhm.
Now we're having those emotions. Like, now we're becoming more balanced instead of just being, raw. We're okay. I like you can hold me too. You know what I'm saying? So it's
I mean,
getting to the now real shit, and it's getting to the point now. There's being a balance, because now if you look at women, like, they're becoming the breadwinners. They're becoming like they're having the things that we had only.
it was
So it's
only
like a
us.
shift.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's a shift.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm glad everything is occurring right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad everything is occurring right now, because if we stayed one way, we would only see the world one way.
Facts.
You right.
And
You right. You right about that. And it's crazy. You even
yeah.
touch. It's crazy. Like, not even to cut you off. My fault to cut you off,
Now
bro.
you good. Now you
But
good.
it's wild because you said that, as a man, we're conditioned to protect, provide, lead. And this is like these are like the three core values of life for men. Like, no matter what, this is what we have to do. You got to protect, you got to provide, you got to lead, you got to hold the whole house down. If you can't do one of the things, you better know how to do two. And if you can't do even two of the three, you're a waste. That's how
I
it's
was just
always been
about to
like.
say the world don't even give a damn about you until you could do those things.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
And
for
it's
real, yeah.
it's so it's so crazy. Even also, it's like, again, like, you have to be all of these things for everyone. You got to do all this. Like, as a man, you over here even got to sacrifice everything. You got to take care of the family. You got to take care of your significant other. You got to take care of, or you got to take care of your friends. You're doing all of this, and you ain't got nothing left for you. Like, not there's men that will sit here and do all of this, and not one time no one will go to that man and ask him, yo, how are you feeling? Like, are you good? You all right? Not one time you will ever hear that. You don't hear that. And this is how, like, shit, like, it just hearing you say that, it was just like, I just maybe brought that to that piece. It's just like, wow, that's crazy. Even also, like, you really, like, whereas men, we have to sit here and we have to do these things. We have to. It's like you got to do this, or you're not doing it, or you're not a man at all. You
We're
got to do this.
expected.
You got to be strong. Can't show no tears. Be tough. You over here. If you even start to even shed a tear, you start crying, breaking down. They're gonna tell you, like, oh, man up, stop being a bitch. All of this. They'll tell you all those things under the sun, and it's just because, again, I'm unfortunately, yeah, this is what we were brought on. This is what we were brought up on. But now, of course, now we're in a time frame where everything is more. It's definitely more out in the open, and it's,
Definitely a lot more vanilla.
yeah, and I think it's probably for the better. Grant,
I agree, yeah.
because I know, like, some of us will sit here and be like against it. It's like, low key, we don't even realize we turning into that. We low key probably are turning into our parents or our
Oh,
other.
that's not low key at all. That's not low key at all.
Like, we turning into them, like, oh, like, oh, this is too soft. Like, yo, this generation is this not this not that.
When you
You
put it
older,
that
Yeah,
way,
older
that's fair.
generation is like,
yeah,
hold on,
you're right.
nah, we can't. Like, you gotta, like, catch yourself, like, nah, we can't do this.
I've,
I'm not the older
I've definitely
generation.
been the old millennial shouting in the cloud. Like,
Back in my day,
right back in my day, snow days was more than 2 inches of snow back in
Yo,
my
you
day.
don't see, you don't
Those
see
types.
Bro, that's a
all
fact.
these whippersnappers coming around
Right.
my yard.
you gotta sit there like, wait, what the
These
fuck did I just
Thundercats.
sleep? Whippersnappers,
These
huh?
Thundercats.
That's
Nah.
how I feel when I see any of my little cousin's cell phones. I'm like, bro, y'all never even seen a button on a phone yet. Y'all
Right.
complain about nothing.
And then you gotta stop yourself in your head, like,
Mine press the three button 3 times to get to the letter C. Y'all got touch
Exactly.
screens,
Back
Siri,
in my day, we had
all of this
AA
crazy.
batteries for entertainment. If I wanted to be entertained, I had to use a Game
Facts.
Boy. You know what a Game Boy is? Like one of those
Damn,
things.
nah, forget a Game Boy.
I remember back then, you was
dude.
playing games. Someone turned the lights off.
Oh,
you was
yeah.
passed out.
What's seeing shit?
Nah,
Word.
no,
It's
forget
over.
a Game Boy. You had to shock and be like, you know what a Game Gear is? Nah,
Oh.
Game Gear is a throwback.
Oh,
big ass
Oof.
with
Yeah,
the
you
was bad.
six.
I've
You
not
need six
seen
double
that.
A's to run that shit, man.
You're showing your age,
yo,
bro.
it's so crazy
You're
that
showing
they don't
your
even
age.
know.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's so crazy that they don't even know controllers had wires, bro.
Oh yeah, all they know is wireless, so it's
I
just
had
like
to plug it.
yeah.
Yeah, you had to plug them in.
I don't know if that's true.
Nah, bro, it's not.
No.
No, I'm
No,
telling
because
you
there's
this.
definitely enough controllers with wires and enough people with PCs
That's fair.
to
That's
be
fair.
playing
That's fair. That's fair.
playing
You
with,
put it
with
that
wired
way.
controllers.
That's fair.
That's
Trust
different,
me.
though.
I
You're
guess.
pushing it.
That's
I ain't
fair.
pushing it,
That's
man.
different.
They don't know TVs
hold
with
on,
backs,
you-
man.
They
They don't know about
that
that.
I
They don't
can
know-
agree with.
They don't know
That's
about.
that
They
I
don't know
can
about the
agree with.
old flipping back channel trick. They don't know about that
Word.
trick.
We're
They know
from
what
an
happened.
era
back
where
channel
you
trick.
had to have a VCR or channel 3 in order to play video games. And some shit.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure if I asked my niece, yo, you remember when these controllers had to be plugged into the thing? Like, she'd probably look at me like I had 6
Nah,
heads.
talk about. Remember the RBG cables? The shoe.
Oh yeah.
those are the best. They don't know about. Oh, look who joined in the chat.
Joined us in the
What's
chat.
up? Well, shout out to Striker.
Video game
What up,
censored
Striker?
singly, of course.
So shout out to Striker for being present. He's right though. Lift the CRT.
He damn sure is. I can't even deny that.
Oh, they got it.
They
easy,
got it
he said.
easy.
They got it goddamn easy.
But something you mentioned, QS about people. A term that I hate with a passion is man up. Like I hate it with so much, and I think because of that type of thinking, it's shit like that makes a person, because it's not just males. It, it stifles a person from showing emotion. You know, telling somebody to man up is literally just telling them to suck it up, which is in turn, as you're growing up, is telling them to bottle your shit.
Get over it, Julie.
Get over it,
Right.
man.
You know, and sometimes that's just not how shit works. You can't just get over it. You gotta face it. You gotta, you know, deal with it. You know what I mean? Some shit you can walk away from, others you can't, and you gotta know when to do it. You know, but that term fucking sucks, in my opinion.
Yeah, manning up. Yeah, the whole
Especially if the
man up
person
term.
telling you man up is half the reason you win the shit.
Oh man, that was that's a problem in itself. You got the person that has been gaslighting you for years, telling you now that like you got to get over it. It's
Why
like
you making that face expression?
no. You gotta make your face. I
You
always
making
make
the
this-
face like who you talking to is
No.
right there.
That's just me. That's just me.
You like
Person that you've been gaslighting for
Nah,
years.
like no.
That sounded
Straight
hella
ahead,
specific.
It
That
ain't
was
nobody.
hella
Nah,
specific.
chill. It's nobody. It's
He
nobody.
did the slow turn, like the slow neck turn.
Like no. Like everybody gonna think like, well, he talking about me? Like, nah, it's not. But it is true. Like
He's
anybody
coming
that
at his entire friends on Facebook.
I mean,
his
some-
whole
some-
friends list.
someone gonna feel the way. Someone will feel the way if they're watching this. Someone will. But I see that. But what I'm saying is like, the person that probably that was gaslighting you in that friend group, and they're telling you like, to man up or suck it up. Like, oh, it's not that deep. They not realizing that. Not realizing that when you do shit like that, that's it. It's like it is a stifle. It's a pause on. I guess when you're growing, as because again, like when you're growing, like when you're trying to like you come into yourself mentally and you realizing like there's a lot of shit you have to grow up from and grow out of. Some of the things that you did that was happening to you in the past, you're not standing for it anymore. Certain times if you're dealing with a friend that was, or if you think that they're a friend that kind of was probably an associate, they've been gaslighting you for this long, like, and now you are actually coming into yourself and you realizing that you're not trying to stand for this. It's kind of that's where things start to shift. It goes to show, like, I guess those same people that are doing that low key are gaslighting you, they can't actually handle, I guess, the new version of you that's, I guess, being molded, or that's forming, that's evolving. They can't, they can't match it. They don't understand it. They're like, nah, this is different. Like it's 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 all in here. Like it's in the back of their mind. They're just not gonna go and vocally say it to you out loud.
I'll
Everybody
say
like
this.
with me on that, like somewhat, like
I'll say this,
I
right?
agree
Not to
with that.
cut you, not to cut you, but stagnation loves company, right?
mm,
So,
mm,
like when you're growing, the way you're growing is not gonna match the timetable of somebody else's growth because one, it may take it longer for them, or they may not even grow anyway. But people like to sit in low vibration and then judge and point fingers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you're doing your work, you're gonna feel alone no matter what.
Excuse me.
You're gonna feel like, yo, the constant question you're gonna ask is, am I bugging for
mm,
feeling this way? Am I bugging? And this is why doing the work is so hard, because when you're around those people that you're outgrowing, or even the
yeah,
thoughts that you're outgrowing, they're not gonna get where you're coming from until later. And then guess what? So you on level 55, they on level 50, and then when they get to 55, you're gonna be at 60. And that
yeah,
number is never gonna match. So it's just like,
Yeah, that margin is crazy now.
yeah, the margin is always gonna be crazy because it's like, bro, now
If
time
I'm
has
5
elapsed.
levels ahead and I'm growing, eventually I'm gonna be 7 levels ahead, 8 levels
mhm,
ahead, 9 levels ahead. Now it's, yeah, you just ain't even gonna catch up
yeah. I get
Yeah,
unless I
and then
unless I halt myself, and now it don't make sense.
here's the battle within that. Now you have to still remain humble, even though you know better. You know what I'm saying? Like you
That's
have
the
Yes.
to
hardest
remain.
thing to do
Yeah, you have to know.
because
You have to remain
my
humble,
fault.
bro. Not my fault, bro. But you have to, because you don't want to be the low vibration with just more information, because that's
hmm
not growth. That's just
Yeah.
gaining. Like
Yeah.
I've been saying that on my Twitter for a while. Like gaining, gaining and growth, it may look the same. You may get all the assets and the tangible stuff, but the growing is you having the intangible to be ready for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's,
I think what
you know what I mean?
I think what another hard part is is even though as you're growing, you feel you're these 5 levels always ahead. Is again is like from what I said before. It's always gonna hurt when that those same individuals that's lower than you in that low vibration, they're just never, they can't see you. They really can't accept to see you in that new form. And I think another example that I could see from that, I don't know, did everybody, I know everybody may not watch the show Insecure. Y'all don't watch Insecure, right?
Yo, you my
Well,
man. You
I
know that's
don't
my
watch
shit.
it, but I watch
See,
it
That's
back
my
see,
shit.
then.
see, Freud,
He
we here, bro. That's how we
We
know.
here,
Like
brother. We here,
it's a water
brother.
sign thing. Like we here, but it's like, but it's like I give a big spoiler. It is what it is. Like y'all gonna catch up and watch it. Season's about to end anyways. Um, there's a character on there. His name is Nathan. You
You
know,
going real striker right now.
I was about
no,
to
no,
say
no, it's
that.
okay.
You
No,
you
because
I was just
it
about to
does
say
play
that.
into this. Plays into what I'm saying. Like man's is
uh,
Nathan was bipolar and everything. He's bipolar. He's he was bipolar and also he was manic. He is he's a manic depressant, and
I don't like these traits on television shows.
but
It sounds like you
it's
about to describe a woman beater.
not nah he
Nah,
believe it
nah,
or
nah,
not
nah, nah,
he's
nah,
not
nah, nah.
No, okay.
he's none
No,
of that. He's none of those things.
it sounds like you about to
He's
reveal something.
nah he's like a regular cool dude.
Okay,
He's a mad cool dude. He's a barber. He's just mad chill, mad laid back,
wow.
okay.
mad laid back. You think like kind of like all of us like mad laid back and chill, but
Mm.
then but he has these like the biggest flaw of him is basically is that he'll just ghost. He ghosts completely. Like he just like disappears without a trace. Doesn't give no doesn't you can't be able to contact him. He'll disappear for like days, weeks, even months,
Yeah.
just cold, and you wonder like yo what's going on here, and that's the reason why he would be ghosting because he suffers severely from being bipolar or being a manic. And I think it was just this particular episode. I was thinking it was he was coming back. It was his cousin at the time. Like he was living with him a little bit with his cousin, and I guess like his when Nathan was doing these things, ghosting, just disappearing for days on end and coming back. I guess his cousin felt so much of a way, but kind of like made it seem like his wife was the one that hated him, and whole time it was him.
Mm. Yeah.
Whole time,
Wow.
whole time it was him that didn't like him because he said like he didn't like the fact that he was always bringing up how like he always would disappear and like just be gone for days on end, while everybody else is bigging him up. They lifting him up because they looking at him as the new Nathan. The new Nathan, he's mad cool. He's uplifting everybody. He's hosting gigs. He's throwing parties and bringing the community together. But his cousin still sees him as just that person. And he's just, and even then it's like he had a whole conversation with Issa Rae, like asking her like, yo, like I just wanted him to see the me of today. Just I wanted him to just see me for me now, not what I was back then. And then he just had to like chalk it up to the air, like fuck it. And it's just like, but it's like, and it's again like it's so crazy to see that. It's like you got when you are on this journey and you're on that journey of healing, like he already knew, he figured out the problem, he knew what the problem was, and he was doing the work to fix himself, to make himself better. But again, you have your loved ones, even your family, even your closest friends, they still sitting there and they see you from what you was from the back then. And it's like they just can't let go of that. They don't want to let go of it. They just like, and then in the same front, his cousin did the same ghosting thing that he did to him. He just did it to him. Like, yeah, I'm just call you sometime. And that was it. Like you ain't never see hear or heard from him again after. It was just like, that's
You know what's
great.
crazy? No, the crazy part is he said, I'm gonna call you sometime. Now I'm gonna call you later. I'm gonna call you when I get home.
I'm
None
gonna call
of
you
that shit.
sometime.
Sometime, I'm like, what kind of shit is that? It's not sometime USA, nigga. What you talking
Like,
about?
yeah, we're like you with family. Like, yo, like you like we could if why and all this, you wait till now to like just spring that on me. Like, yo, you could have came and spoke to me about this from then, and you didn't even want to give you didn't even give me that courtesy. You didn't even give it to that. And it's like I get it, like, yes, what he was doing back then was wrong. And I get it. For all of us as men, like there could be something, a stage in our lives where we did something that a lot of our loved ones may not be proud of. But I always say like you shouldn't be able to don't hold that against them. We shouldn't be holding any of this against each other. Like especially don't hold it against, you shouldn't be holding that against each other for this long, especially when they've already identified that problem and they've worked through it. They're working
Yo,
through it. You just come out of
But
nowhere with this like haymaker.
That's
the
a common
the
thing.
thing, yeah, I was gonna say the thing too is like so many people hold on to their own insecurities so much that they project it on people who want to succeed or who are working on being better. Um, just like he said about being stagnant, it's the same thing with misery. Misery loves company, and you know it really sucks. It sucks even more when it is family, and don't my what I want to get across too is don't think that just because they're family means that they're behind you,
That's a fact.
because that's not true either.
Mm-hmm.
People are people, jealousy is jealousy, and it I mean, bottom line is that like it sucks. Like I don't know how else to put it. You know what I mean? It sucks, but like not everybody is in your corner. Just keep that in the back of your mind. It's all right to trust, but just know that not everyone's in your corner. You gotta figure out how to finagle your way around. Because you want to make sure you have the right circle around you. You know.
You gotta make sure you have the right circle around you, because like sometimes it's not really who's in your corner, but sometimes it's like why they're in your corner.
Right.
Like if you're the nicest basketball player in the hood, there's people that's gonna be in your corner because there's a chance you might make it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you gotta always filter that, and you have to constantly update your circle, because sometimes you don't know why they was there before, but you know now, and it's like yo, you
Uh-huh.
was probably waiting to capitalize. So you always gotta filter through over and over again, and
Right.
that's why like it'd be sad because like sometimes you be cool with people because like you feel like they relate to you somehow. And it's like, yo, we have so much in common. Then you find out, like, nah, those are just coincidences. We're really worlds apart. You're nothing like me. I actually can't like you now. And it's like, it gets crazy. It gets crazy. Because sometimes people you see like little traits that's like, yo, I thought you was like me. You're nothing like me at
Right.
all.
Right.
Whatsoever. That little thing that I thought made us similar, that was the only coincidence. Everything
That's
else is
it.
trash. I gotta go. It be like that. And that's what like happens with your friends, especially when they talk about, oh, you changed. Usually that comes from people who used to benefit off how you used to be. Now you're not doing that no more. You're not
Yes.
bringing 8 bottles to the spot no more. You bringing one just enough. It's like, yo, you changed up
Right.
now. You're not because you're not coming up off what I'm bringing no more.
Right.
So that goes with that's why you was fucking with me. That's why I was getting invited because I was bringing more than more than needed all the time. That you always got to filter through.
You know what's crazy? I've experienced that more with women than like men. Like my circle is very tight knit. It's not the cast of characters has always been the same. Like, and I always look at it like this, right? I know who's an A+ player. I know who's gonna be a main character. I know who's co-starring, but I know who's extras.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I always know who was extras. I can't really tell that with women because like we could be so close today and then tomorrow it's like you don't even know me. And that's where I get a lot of my my issues from. And it's not to come at women or anything like that because you know people gonna be like, oh, Fro, you said this, you said that. No, this is just my experiences. I never had to question my group of guy friends.
Hmm.
But the group of women friends and just like, yo, is it that I'm serving you as a condition? Remember, Chris Rock said it. We're only loved conditionally.
Yeah.
We're not loved unconditionally.
Mhm.
And then, and another quote today, Will Smith said, yo, you have to forgive me for making mistakes. But people don't see it that way. It's just like you have to be one way only. And when you update in your circle, you're not updating your circle. Your mind is updating your circle.
Mhm.
Facts.
So when your mind clicks with your circle, then you're gonna be like, oh, okay, she don't fit here no more. He don't fit here anymore. They don't fit here anymore. And it's just like you gradually, it's just not gonna work. Now if they're holding on to their life because they still want that condition. They still want that what satisfy their needs from you. And after that, once they can't receive it because now he's like, yo, you're on a Mary J. Blige, take me as I am or have nothing at all. They're not gonna get anything. And they can start get sick. They start to get sick after that. And after that, now you're going doing the work again. It's just like, damn, son. Now you
That's
question
when the
like,
next
was it
thing is
always like
convince
this?
everyone that you changed and that you're wild and you start the conspiracies.
Mhm.
Or he's moving Hollywood because he has a car
Mhm.
now. You start saying wild, stupid shit, the bitter, the envy, and
Right.
whatnot.
Right.
And
They
you know
bring.
what's crazy? That has happened. Oh, bro, you got a car. I'm like, nigga, I'm still the same person who's eating gummy bears, bro. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Like I like my essence didn't change.
Like you ever bought something new and you say like a joke that you're always the jokey joke guy. You happen to say a joke because you got new shoes on. Oh, you hype because you got shoes on, bro. I've been cutting your ass with the Crocs on last week too.
Right.
Like are you dumb? Like what are you talking about?
Sometimes the message
Right.
is lost.
It's just crazy, man, because it's like that's what I think that's what we're all dealing with going into our 30s, right? Like we're in the transition of okay, now we're starting to realize who we really are, not the facades. You know, in high school we all have facades where you want to be part of this crew or be part of that crew. Now we're starting to, stand strong alone or with the few people around us.
Right.
And then the big group that used to be with you, they looking at you like, yo, you're not the same person no more. No, the
No.
essence of me is the same. My core will always be the same. It's just the shit that I do will not be the same.
Yeah. It's different. You got it.
I will not
Especially.
be.
You have to change. You have
Yeah.
to change. You
Not
have to change
Especially-
because you have to evolve.
Especially
You
when.
have
Especially when you're trying to get, if you want to make the most out of this life that is here, yeah, it's change is essential no matter what.
Yeah.
You can't keep to sit here and say, isn't they always said that insanity is the same, doing the same thing over and over,
Yeah.
like doing the very same
Expecting-
thing over and
And-
over.
Yeah, expecting
Expecting a
different
different
results.
result.
Expecting
Yeah.
a different result. Like, no, you can't. You got to change up. Now, yeah,
You gotta
exactly.
be fair to the people around you. It's 2021. If 2026 come and me and my brother is talking about the same shit, I failed him.
Ditto.
Yeah, I
That's it.
failed him because what the
Like,
fuck
yeah.
are you talking about shit
Right.
from 2021? 5 years from now, shit, me, you better grow. How the fuck we gonna get more shit to talk about?
Right.
Exactly.
Not only that, but
5 years from now, I'm not talking about COVID.
Word.
right.
Unless,
also,
5 years
unless,
from now, I hardly want to talk to him.
Facts.
but also,
Facts. Facts.
if you're not talking about something
wait, nah, it's
different,
the other way.
fail
Okay.
yourself also.
The other way.
We
Oh,
never
I
get
see
that
it
straight
that way.
either. Don't worry about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
never
always-
get that
we always
shit,
mess
man. We
that
always
up.
fuck that shit up. It's like, all right,
Our
fuck
cameras are mirrored, and we still haven't figured that out yet.
it.
Don't worry about it. But
Yo.
like, if you're still on the same wave, if you're still on the same wavelength, like you're failing yourself as well. So it's like because you're not even trying to expand, you're not even trying to explore. Like one of the common things I think of mental health in general that like I'm glad that you guys touched on like past interactions and stuff like that. Reconciliation with the past, like if you've done bad things in your past, and being able to look at that past and learn from it and love yourself despite of it, like that's a big step. Self-love and the importance of giving yourself like positive affirmations and making sure that you are fully accepting of who you are as a person. That's a big step towards mental health. Like I've seen countless people, and it's a common theme in most therapeutic situations. Something in the past leads to a communication breakdown between two people, or whatever have you. You can never change the past in any way, shape, or form. You can never ever go back and change literally the past. But you can work on what's in front of you and you can build toward a better future. And I think that part is lost in translation when people do get into arguments and when people do hold on to the past and stuff like that. Very rarely do we as human beings, I think, as a collective, focus on what we have in front of us. We're either very wrapped up into the future, which is good. It's good to think about the future. It's good to have plans and stuff like that. But plans can also change. Life happens. There's random variables that happen. Or we get stuck in the past, meaning that
We know
we
that.
overanalyze things based off of past interactions or whatever have you, or we hold on to grudges and things of that nature. And that is unhealthy because that leads to, self-doubt, that leads to anger, that leads to stress. So just realizing that, you can't fix your past, but you can sure as hell learn from it. Like
Mhm.
this is a trivial example. Like during a therapeutic session, I showed a clip from The Lion King, right? You know the scene where Rafiki hits Simba in the head with the stick, and he
Yeah.
says, why'd you do that for? And he's like, it doesn't matter, it's in the past. So what are you going to do now? He swings and he ducks because he learned from it. It's something as simple as a kids movie teaching us that in a very subliminal manner. You know, the past can suck. It really can. But if you don't learn from that, it's like the old saying, history. If you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. Things are very cyclical.
That's
So,
true.
True.
of course, it's much easier said than done if you need help. But sometimes you have to take a step back in order to take a leap forward. Take a look at the chain or whatever have you, and try to analyze the cycles that you go through. If you see certain patterns in relationships that you have, if you see certain patterns in the way people treat you, and also I'd like to say like to realize like nobody attracts toxic people. Like I think that's something like people will say you are what you attract. I don't necessarily agree with that. You don't necessarily attract toxic people. Toxic people will latch on to anybody for anything. So it's like
I kind of think both is true.
it can be. Don't get me wrong. It can be. It's different strokes for, but anybody that's toxic will latch on to anybody. So it doesn't matter like what you bring to the table or whatever have you. They're always looking out. Those type of people are always looking out for themselves.
Mhm.
So if I could leave anybody with a message here, start with self-love. Realize what you like about yourself. Realize what you bring to the table that's positive. Don't just focus on all the negatives that you have, because if you focus on negatives, you really will neglect the positives that are in front of you.
That's a fact.
But I
That
think
is a fact. Yeah.
I also think like, when you neglecting a partial part of the reasons why I think also I'd even say for the young men now, they don't embrace the positives. I think you got to put a lot of that blame also on social media.
Absolutely.
That's a fact.
Like
Hmm.
social media has really like has actually helped warp these, like it's warping young men. I mean, even us, it's warped us to a point where we have, this is what we're supposed to be doing.
A false
This is what
perspective on that. For
this is
real.
what they gotta expect to do it. And I think it's even stressed them and drained them even more. Whereas like now that they like feel they're so drained that they have to do all of these things because It's not because of this is not even with society. It's part of society, but it's really just what social media has put out there. Like this social media era has literally like gotten so out of hand that you almost have to believe you have to be this. You have to do this. This
So
has
it
this I have to do.
borderline.
Yeah, it's like
Sorry,
I have to do. Yeah, it's cool.
that's my fault for cutting you. But it borderline becomes like wrestling for real, like your character, and then you grow to the point where it's like I don't really like my character, and then like after that, it could become a downhill battle really fast
Yeah, you go
on
into
the
a down.
internet.
Yeah, you can go into a downward spiral because it's like you thought that if you had to be this person and it's going to shape your future. You go and you become this person. It's going to shape your future because you always keep telling yourself like you're not trying to go back to don't want to go back to the past. Not realizing because you went and did this whole entire facade, it clearly wasn't who you were, and now you're in the so-called future when
I
really and
think
truthfully you just went back. Now you just and because you don't like what you saw, you hate what you saw. The grass clearly wasn't greener on that side, and now you're like you've just fallen completely off. It's like you're falling down a cliff, and it's like you're falling down an endless cliff, and now you're back where you started. The very thing that you were so afraid of, you didn't want to go back to, you're back there. And
it's
it's and
like
I,
I'm sorry. It's like also uh I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. It's like also the the facade that the facade that people put on social media then becomes, oh, I have to portray this in real life. It's like people don't, you know, Twitter that every people got Twitter fingers, and you're this big bad person, or you talk shit, or you're supposed to be this incredibly toxic person on social media, when in real life you could just be a sweetheart, you could be good people, like who knows, you know what I'm saying? But then it starts to melt, like when you mentioned wrestling, people who tend to stay in character, like stay in character, and I mean stay in character for real, like even when they're outside of the
Yeah,
ring,
it's
Undertaker
Jericho
being a
talk.
perfect example. He was in character all the time.
Wait, who you said?
The Undertaker. He
Okay,
believed in his
yeah,
character so much that he was in character all the time. And I'm not using him as an example for the toxic aspect. I'm just saying
I know
as
what you mean.
yeah, I know what you
from
mean.
the outside. But um, people we've excuse me, noticed so many people that haven't um that have been, I call it, poisoned through social media. And it's really sad because some of these people could probably do wonders for social media, or wonders for people on social media, but because you have the haters, because you have these toxic people who just want to bring other people down and find social media as the easiest way to do it, it becomes an issue.
I mean, positivity doesn't sell, right? That's why you see all
No,
the negative shit.
It's a damn shame, ain't it?
Yeah, it's a shame, but it's just like this is something. It's just a new tool being used to do the same thing, sell negativity, and then now it kind of fucks up the thinking of the youth, because that's all I care about, right? I care about the younger people. Like I just want you to be authentically you. Like when you go on my social media, what you see is what you see right now. I don't change for nobody. It's not for no likes. It's not for people to glorify me or anything like that. I'm glorifying myself. If you
Right.
glorify me, cool. I fuck with you. If you don't, that's cool. I'm just not your steez. But people got this idea to be like this obsession to be liked, to
Mhm.
be for everything to go good, but you'll it's like you selling your soul just to be liked by people who may not even like you. They might just like something you have or something you could do for them. You don't know what's on that other side. This is just
Yeah.
a tool. That's why I don't blame social media itself. I blame the people who influence on social media, because
Those influences are hell. You're right.
I don't
You
blame the
definitely right.
influencers. I believe the people who overly invest as far as what they listen to.
Well, you can't really blame them because it's like they're part of the machine now, right?
It,
They just
yeah,
joined the machine. The machine
yeah.
was the biggest architects of the machine is the influence. Is like, yo, all right, I'm gonna sell flat tummy tea. Remember that shit? The
Yeah, but
flat tummy tea?
Flat tummy tea.
that's
Well, all that shit was some fucking tea, regular fucking tea. But they had you
with
believe that all
with
this
a
was going,
dash
it was
of
going
pepper
to
in it.
save you from bloating. It was going to make you lose about 50 pounds within 2 weeks. Oh yeah, they had the whole. They you saw everybody with the ad. You started seeing men doing the flat tummy tea ads, and it was just like
You know what I'm
when
saying? They're
we
doing
are
that.
pushing this.
Exactly. They're doing that now. Oh, this my favorite thing is, all the Forex traders and the people who are artists who I could do your digital thing. Like, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear that shit.
Your NFTs.
I fucks with Forex.
Oh
I was
man,
Forex.
Talking about your
Used correctly.
NFTs.
Yeah.
There we go. Used correctly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can't blame a tool because it's like that's like saying you got to go in the genesis of blaming the computer, then blame. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna blame those kind of things. I blame how people use it, how they influence on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, we could post something positive all day. Like for instance, this is positive. If we don't get the likes, I still
yeah,
don't care
yeah. It's not.
because
It's all good. Yeah,
the real resonate. Because one thing I always trying to do is make something that's timeless. I
yeah.
don't try to make something that's for the moment. And a lot of people, they get messed up with that. So I don't
No,
know.
it's true.
I
No,
can't.
it's definitely true. Like it's true. Like you have to always, you want the real is always gonna recognize real no matter what. You do want this to always stand test of times. You want it to, as you say, you want it to be timeless. You want it for our
Right.
future, all of our future kids, where if they want to ever go back, they can go see like, oh wow, all our dad, damn, our dad's was a podcast. So it's like, oh wow, they actually were saying some thoughtful shit. You never know. This conversation could end up being used in a fucking classroom, in a classroom or a fucking college seminar. We'll never know. Never know one day, but one day
Yeah.
if it gets the right view, who knows?
That's
But
a
I
fact.
think it's always unfortunate. It is always unfortunate that the negative has to always be getting pushed. I think that's why you could even put that with our music. Why that's why we always want our R and B. We always want our R&B singers and shit to be fucking sad all the time. We don't. We never. The minute they start being happy, they start singing happy shit.
Hold on.
We
Wait. Dude, sad all the time. Have you not heard Silk Sonic's EP yet?
no. I was gonna get to that. I was gonna hold on, relax.
Because
Cause trust me,
like,
bro. I know. I already know that song. I already know that album is perfection. It's perfection. That's the one like positive that for us as the men that we got a positive outlook album. We got it right here. We got Silver Sonic. But majority
true.
of the R&B singers that we know that we always look up to that we always sing at the top of our lungs. It's the sad negative shit. But
Yeah.
when they start making some happy music, some singing some positive about positive going on in their life, we'd be like, yeah, it's all right. It's I mean, it's all right. It's cool. It's not hitting like the last one. Like look how long we was doing that to Keisha Cole. Look how long we was doing that. The only person that I would say the only artist that with the pass with like singing negative shit, and we actually were fine that she was starting to sing happy shit was Mary J. Blige.
Mhm. I mean, there's a few. I mean, there's a bunch of people.
But overall, I think I think
But
going
misery
back
loves
to us,
company.
well, like yeah, going on for us for like going back to us for just with men, I feel we in like when it comes to like values, these old things, values that for what represent us, we really have to learn to really start living in the present. We we always keep thinking of like a lot of these conversations that we've been having, it's always been talking about somewhat of the past, like trying to like what I guess overthinking and what to expect from the future, but like not one time has it been like really thinking about right now. Like what's going on right now. Like, all right, you know what? Let's just get through this day. Like I think like that's one thing that I think a lot of men in general do need to start doing. Just get through the day. Not just get through the day, get through today. And when it's tomorrow, the next day
Mhm.
you get through that day. And the next day you just get through it. Just get through it. And you just because this is the present. This is what you're living in. Just get through what you're living in instead of trying to like worry about every everything from before or what you think is going to happen in the future. Okay, because of course everybody knows the future's not guaranteed for anybody.
Yeah.
Never is.
It never ends, man. This shit never ends. But I think once you have like you said, once when we started from the beginning, like once you start doing the work,
Mm.
like everything, I think everything will come to fruition, right? It's like so the positive outlooks that you want to see in life is just gonna continue to happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like it starts, but it always starts off with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's I think that's the main thing we are trying to get across. Like, it starts off with you. It starts off with you. It starts off with you.
Starts off with you.
You know what I'm
Just
saying?
starts
And
off with you.
and that's something I had to learn. Like, even like I'll tell you what really got me into this mental health thing, right? What really got me into the mental health was where I was in a relationship, and that relationship, it was draining me
Mm.
because like the things that I
Felt
was
that.
asking, yeah, because the things that I was asking for, they were not being met.
Well,
Now,
you're reciprocated, yeah.
and they're not being reciprocated. Now, she has her ways of how she felt about things, and I learned them within these like year and a half to 2 years, and that's cool. But it's just like it's not always about you.
Right.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying? And that's something I re-emphasize. So I was just like, yo, as I was like, I was begging for time for you to spend time with me, and it's just like, why am I begging my girl to spend time with me? It felt frustrating, and mind you, I never operate off right or wrong. I just be like, yo, I just don't understand it. Let's have a conversation, right? But when you don't want to have a conversation now, guess what? Am I the only one in the relationship? So I can't deal with that shit. And then now it's like I got to a point where I was like, oh, I regret this and this, that, and the third. But I'm just like, no. If I didn't do that move to save both of us, I was gonna literally kill myself.
Yep.
That relationship was gonna kill me. Ever since I got out of that, I barely had you know, low blood sugar, weight. I've been gaining weight. I've been losing hair, but you know what I'm saying? But you gotta give and take.
You
But
starting to get the Vegeta hairline? Is that
I'm getting the Kobe Bean. I'm getting the
no?
Kobe Bean. You know what I'm saying? Fade away, fade away. But but even with that,
Mari looking like that's nasty work.
He
fuck
doesn't
it.
look
Hey, I
no,
got the
he's
head shape
good.
for it. It's good.
That's
It's all
nasty
good.
work. You got
I got
you can pull it off.
I got the
Made
head
it
shape
this
for it.
leaves, I'm in trouble.
He said
That's what I'm
it.
You
saying.
good, you good, you good. But
I
nah,
want to
These
wear
it's
his
like
days
hats
doing
for the rest of my
dreadlocks.
life.
My shit look like a roadmap of downtown Harlem.
No,
I am sick of you. But not like so,
yo,
and it's like I said, it's not to point fingers. It's like, oh, you did this or you did that. We all did shit.
yeah,
But it's just like I'm taking my ability. I want to learn why I felt a way about not having this time. Why was I so insecure with certain things? I learned that by stepping away. I had to step away to get myself together because guess what? I was losing myself in a relationship. I didn't just want to be the us. I wanted to be Freud too.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted her to be her. And guess what? As I see it, everything I said is coming to fruition. And it's just like damn shame I had to step away for you to be the best you and for me to be the best me. And that's exactly what it is.
well,
Accountability.
this is something, and it's funny you mentioned that because with how I've felt for let's say honestly the beginning of the year, there's been lots of ups and downs just in my own mental, um, I mean, and life, but in my mental, I've come to realize this year that you truly can't love somebody or care about someone to the utmost unless you care or love yourself first.
You have to.
You have to, um,
You have to.
because you can't you can't give somebody. First off, I don't think you should give somebody all to begin with, but that's another story. But you can't give somebody love if you're struggling on the inside every day, or you have more doubt than you have love, or you know, essentially more negativity than positivity. Um, it's just not safe. You know, you're
I was
putting
just about to say that's risky business.
yeah, you're lying to yourself,
Mhm.
and you know, the two people you probably should never lie to is you and your kids. You know, so it's a slippery slope, because once you're on that shit, it's hard to get out. You know,
It is. It's a hard process in itself. And you know what's the crazy part? Like me and her are cool, but even I know like I gotta step away from you right now. You gotta step away from me right now, just so we could find who we are without each other,
right?
and then maybe when everything when the dust clears and then we want to do round two or whatever, cool. And if not, just know that my mistakes are not me and your mistakes are not you,
Mhm.
right? Like I will own up to everything I did, but you have to own up to everything that you did,
Right.
because it's not just like, oh, Freud did this, Freud did that. Freud wasn't going out with himself.
Yeah, because it's accountability. It's a two-way street.
Yeah,
That's fair.
And bro, and that's the thing. I've been saying this for a minute, but every woman I've come across, except maybe a few, right? Like every woman I dealt with, they never take their own accountability. It's always like, oh, this, like I did this because. It's not, I'm sorry I did this. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always, oh, I did this because you did this. What? Like, where is the accountability? Like, I can't get a proper apology. That's a half-ass apology. And if you're not even going to apologize, won't you just, how about you understand your behavior and not try to do it again? But there's certain accountability that people don't know how to take. And I come across that with the people I deal with. And it's not cool, because now I get to a point where now I'm second guessing myself.
right.
I'm saying, am I bugging? And then I'm just like, yo, this is a reoccurring theme. Am I the toxic one? Like now you have all this self-doubt, and you keep continue to ask the question, am I
Hmm.
bugging? And then I got to the point where I was like, I know I'm not bugging. Because guess what? After all that shit is said and done, you guys keep coming back. So I'm not bugging. But then I was like, I have to fall back. I have to learn the do's and don'ts. I have to see your red flags and duck them. I gotta see my own red flags and try to eradicate them.
Right.
So
Mhm.
it's just it's a battle that's always happening, but it doesn't become a battle no more. You just war ready after that.
Yeah, yeah, that's a
Excuse
fact.
me.
It's
Yeah, you
like it's
just
fight
become
or
war ready
flight.
after that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fight or flight,
Uh,
fight or flight.
Um,
You can't.
Because sometimes when you sit there asking yourself if you bugging, it don't really be that you be bugging. You don't be understanding yourself telling you that you're not bugging, but because you don't know, you just like you just like all just conflicted. Like, yo, what's going on? Like that's why they say like the fear of the unknown will really fuck you up.
yeah,
That
Mhm.
you better off just telling
true.
me now. Just tell me you gonna kill me, but don't say maybe. So it's like,
Yeah. If you're gonna slip my throat, just let me know
bro,
right now.
Just let me
I'm
know.
asking, I'm asking you, dogs. You gonna kill me? Maybe.
Like
um,
maybe no. Like
there's
just
I
there's
don't
tell
even
me.
know if I
something.
gotta
Like,
send these messages, pouring my heart out and shit or not. But all right, man, sure, we'll wait. It's like the fear of unknown will really bust your head.
Mhm. There is something that I wanted to bring up with you guys. And maybe it's because, well, not maybe, it's definitely because of a prideful situation to which it's me. Um, but therapy. How important is it for somebody to go speak to someone?
All right. Before I say that, I'm gonna tell you the most important thing. Cause everyone, I have some friends who go to therapy faithfully and none of their problems get fixed.
Mhm.
And I say like therapy is a big placebo. So it's like if you can whatever it takes for you to get to whatever you're trying to grow with, all right, cool. If that's therapy, awesome. If that's speaking to your friends, awesome. But where people be fucking up at, they think a lot of people their problems don't get solved because they think it's enough to just go to therapy. Some people will go to a therapy and tell the therapist nothing but lies and be mad they can't help you. You gave them the wrong fucking playbook. They don't know. They don't know these. They can't
because
help you. They'll
because at
sit in
the
front of a therapist and tell 80% of a story and get mad they can't get the help. You got to
Right.
be honest with whoever the fuck it is.
yeah,
Like if it happens to be therapy, cool. But if you could look at one of your friends and tell them the entirety of your flaws and whatnot, you don't need therapy. If the person you're telling to it, if they can respond accordingly, but therapy is a very good alternative. So do that if you need to. You could do it with your friends. Do it with your friends, but
nah,
do it with
nah,
someone. You
nah,
gotta be able to be honest to someone outside of you.
you're 100% right because especially
100% right.
100% right, especially when you're saying when some people really will go to therapy and lie. They'll
They
go and lie,
rely
and
on
it's
you to
Lie
tell
their
me what
ass
my
off.
issues are.
and the crazy thing is they'll go the usual time they usually do that. They'll lie to their therapist about everything going on. They'll tell like they won't even tell 80%.
Not really
I mean that's
lie, but like semi-truthing, where
there's
it's like
some
I'll tell you
they'll
enough where
give
I'm not
maybe
technically
they really
lying,
will
but
give what you
technically
think,
then
yeah,
telling
like what you think is 80 they're really giving like 60.
yeah.
And I think it's because like I said, one thing about therapists, about therapy, anyone like real people who go to therapy, like, and not I'm not even schooling myself as anyone in general, people who go to therapy and they really lay it all down on the line, your therapist is going to hold you accountable.
Yeah, of
He or
course.
she, they will sit there and they will hold you accountable and they're going to show you and tell you things that you do not want to hear, that you may not like to hear, because and it's going to be ugly. Because that's the thing about with healing is not like this, especially if you're trying to heal from a past trauma. It's not pretty, it's ugly. It's ugly, it's disgusting, and sometimes it's scary, sometimes it's going to hurt, and you're going to face a lot of hard truths that you just don't like to hear. And that's why they always say the truth hurts. Truth hurts. It's supposed to hurt. That's what it's supposed to hurt, because it has to make you have to sit with it a little bit. Then you come to terms with it, and you grow, and they learn to grow from it. Then they'll give you, and they even give you the tools to help you grow from it. But the only way you're going to get to that point to even really do that work, you got to be 100% honest. That's that's because it's like it's a trust thing. Like you can't sit here come into therapy expecting, yeah, because as you said, you can't sit there come and expect to be healed, but you're not even being honest with your therapist and giving and trying to give yourself to them for them to trust them with
Right.
yourself. You're not and trust them with you. You're not. It's a trust thing. You're not doing that
But
when
it's about holding up that facade
yeah,
where
like
it's like they rely on you to speak on the things that's visibly noticeable. Like if I come to you like, yo, bro, can we talk for a bit? And I pull up with a pink dog collar around my neck. You clearly could see, like, yo, what the fuck? But it's like when it's something wrong here, bro, it's like you have to. I can't rely on you to freestyle that. You gotta voice that, and then
right,
it gets
right.
to the point where now that shit hit the fan, the car done blew up and shit. Now you're like,
Mm.
yo, so let me explain this thing. Like, no, 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 no. You see, like this is
Like
where
run
this
that
is
back, like
where,
run that all the way back. Like what happened?
right.
You gotta
This
I
sit
is
with
think
you
where
gotta
it's so
you gotta
crazy.
sit
Like you
with this
gotta
one.
be
You really
able to
gotta
be
sit with it.
honest.
Like
yeah, I
It's like
think well, my
my
fault,
fault.
go ahead. No, I got
Not
go
because
ahead.
me and one of my best friends, we had a falling out. And we ended up just talking about everything. And like it started off as like me, I'm gonna say how I felt, because truthfully, you can't do me nothing anyways. But like for real, you gotta be able to talk about things, whether you did something wrong, right, or whatever, just to be able to just take away the ability to say, I ain't know you did that.
Right.
I ain't know. Because like now if you know, it's like, yo, fuck it, it is what it is. Because like you said earlier with the Lion King shit, it already happened. So it's like when you want to really heal from something, you gotta just, bro, the shit happened. Whatever the shit happens to be, the shit happened.
Yep.
But it's like
So my
you can't. It's like there's
you
only
can't
so
get
many
help if
times
you
you can
can't be honest
apologize.
about that.
Yeah.
thing is like, so you deal so you could heal, right?
Hmm.
And a lot of people don't like to deal with this shit. So back to the original question, what many ways of doing therapy. You could have grief counseling. You could just be there to vent. You could be there to, actually get, you know, advice or some kind of structure that you may not understand. But it goes with the saying, faith without work is dead. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to put in the work in order for things to work. And for you to put in the work, you have to be accountable for yourself. Once you're accountable with yourself, then you could take accountability for everything that you've done, or the person that did you wrong, you can hold them accountable. And then now you have to know how to navigate from there. But everybody gotta talk to somebody. If you're just talking to yourself, that's cool and all, but it's like that's very biased.
That's crazy.
I mean, you know,
No,
it's
it's not
not crazy.
crazy.
Nah,
It's not
nah,
crazy.
you're
at
talking to the
all.
realest
I'm
nigga in the
telling you why
room.
it is, bro.
You're talking to the
You're
realest nigga
speaking
in
to
the
the
room, and
only
that's
person
you.
who theoretically was not there. 'Cause that perspective that you're speaking to was not there.
I
So it's like
mean,
you speak to that perspective because that perspective understands already because it's you. What it understands isn't because it's true, it's because it's you. That's
oh fuck that.
crazy.
Fuck that. I understand. I understand. Like I was there.
Yeah, like I
Like,
was
you see,
there.
that's crazy.
Nah,
Like,
it's not crazy because
Ladies
it's
and
like
gentlemen, that is the part of the conversation I will be clipping and putting on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen.
yo, said that.
it's
Said
on the sides now, so we could, you feel me? Too sweet, we too sweet.
that.
No, it's the other way. You're mirrored. You're mirrored.
Again?
Well, yo,
Wait,
what's
no,
up, man?
Mario,
We
you
do it
had
the
it this
opposite
time.
way.
No,
We do it
Mario,
the
you
Yeah,
had
it's
it
opposite
the
this
way.
other
time.
It'll be
way,
good.
like straight up, like
Yeah.
this. Yeah,
He understands the love.
So like
He
if I
understands the
wasn't
love.
talking, like if I
But
was
look,
making that stretch, I'd be like, you mother.
Right.
All right, there we go.
That's my left arm.
oh,
Like,
okay.
Fuck it, we still don't get
But
it.
I look at
What the
yeah,
fuck are we to tell you
never
to do? We still
never
don't
get
know
it
how to
right
do it.
ever. We'd be like, oh, wait, that
yeah.
is
Yeah.
worst version of the Brady Bunch of all time. Like,
I
Oh
was
god.
just about to say that's what this reminds me.
yep, that's
yeah,
exactly what it is.
yeah, I like it. But to finish my point though, it's like sometimes you have to like. I'm a person that's comprehensive to myself, right? So I'm gonna take accountability. I may not like what I've done, but I'm gonna keep it real with myself, and I gotta sit with that. So it could be very subjective, or like, oh yeah, you could talk to yourself or you can't. As long as you're keeping it real. If you're keeping it real with yourself, you could talk to yourself. But if you're
That's
not,
fair.
just
That's
shut the
fair.
fuck up, right?
That's fair.
Now, it's very important to talk to people because it's like it's not for you to do what they say. It's just so you could listen to a different perspective and understand different size of shoes. So it's like you already know what shoe you wear. So me, if I got my Diodoras on, let me see what QS's Jordans feel like, or let me see what Mari's Travis Scott's feel like, because I want to know where they're coming from, the perspective. I want to understand. You know what I'm saying? I want to understand. It's not to even agree or disagree. Let me just understand a different perspective. And once you do that, life gets so much easier. It's less stressful. It's more peaceful because now you know how to accept things. So, but you can always accept your own shit. But then when you see things not working out your way, then it's like, what are you gonna do? What you gonna do after that? You know what I mean? So I think therapy is very important. Matter of fact, it's so funny that Friday I officially signed up with my therapist because I did the whole
You
appreciate
gotta
you,
clap
appreciate
that one
you,
up. That's what's up.
appreciate you,
That's
appreciate
what's
you.
up.
Absolutely.
Like
Good,
I
bro.
did the consultation and everything. Mind you, I waited like 2 months just to sign up. And because there was so much shit going on, I almost missed my spot. But she's like, yo, I'll make an exception for you. Because we had a good consultation. And it's like, I'm gonna use therapy just so I could vent. Because I feel like I'm not heard. I feel like I'm not appreciated. So the things that you see on my IG, that's how I literally feel that day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day. But every day, what I try to do on my story, I'm in my car and you just see me look like mad, then I start to smile because, yo, if you don't smile, like, bro, like, this shit, you're gonna be bitter. I'm not trying to be bitter at all. I'm trying to get out that funk. So
Right.
every day I'm doing the work. Every day I talk to my dogs. I talk to my homegirls. You know, the realest nigga I speak to is my mother.
Mm-hmm. It's the
Real
same thing.
shit.
That's the same thing for me.
I doubt I felt that.
That's the
Real
exact same thing
shit.
for me.
That's because number one, like how could I do the little horoscope shit. Like, so she's a Capricorn, I'm a Cancer.
Oh,
That's the
Caps.
mother and father energy, right? But her moon is she's a Cancer moon, and I'm a Capricorn thing, moon,
Sun,
whatever, right?
moon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So me, she always saying, "Yo, you're stubborn." I'm like, "You are too. I get it from you." The fuck, you know what I'm saying? So we have conversations. It's just like I could sit down with my mom and not talk about mom, son, and mom. I could be like, "Oh, this is Freud talking to Evelyn." You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And we saying some real nigga shit. My mom is the she always says the same. It's just like, "Yo, if something happened to you, who's gonna bury you?"
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right? And I look at it like, yo, that's pretty dark, but I get it though. Like she's always gonna have my back, and she's always
Right.
shown that. Like you
Right.
know how some family members they have your back off of condition. Like my mom, literally, she'll be sleeping. She's like, "Yo, you need bread? Okay, take this. Or you need this? Take that." Like she's the realest nigga I ever speak to, and I continuously speak to her every day. That's who I was checking on the phone because she was texting me.
Yeah. No.
You know,
Yeah. I mean, I think. Um. Stretch and I can relate for sure. I can't speak on QS Mario because I don't know, but but
No,
um,
same here, same here.
yeah, I think sometimes having that just it's not even just family member, just having that person that you can just be a buck with no matter what is is one of the most is one of the best things you can have in your life. And if that means it's just one person, period, that's going to be there for you, then fuck it, that's one person. You know what I'm saying? Like, um it was funny last week's episode we did a Marvel versus DC thing
Oh god.
yeah,
situation. Yeah, it
I
was
peeped.
yeah, it was hectic. It was hectic. It was fun, but it was hectic. Can't wait to do it again. Maybe we'll do Sega versus Nintendo next time.
That
Yeah,
sounds
Yeah,
that's
that
lit.
would
going
make
that's
sense.
going down. I don't know who's going to be on that episode, but that's
Yeah,
going
that's what I'm saying.
down.
That sounds
Wicked.
lit. That sounds lit.
That's a wicked one.
um
Jesus Christ.
but so my favorite is Spider-Man. Part of the reason, and I brought this up, was because the way he is. He when he cuts his jokes as Spider-Man when he's fighting enemies isn't because he thinks he's funny. Is because he's insecure about beating them. He doesn't know if he can actually defeat them. So he uses that not only to throw them off and to piss them off and throw off their whole situation, but to cover up his own insecurities. That's something I do. I joke a lot, and a lot of that is because of my insecurities, because of how I feel about me. Sometimes that could be a very good thing because you don't need to show your insecurities in certain aspects of your life. Other times, not so much needed necessarily. Um, like I can never keep a straight face when I'm in a serious conversation. You know what I mean? Like I can never just let it be a serious conversation. Like once I hear something and my mind says it, I'm saying it. You know what I'm saying? Like to ease it up because who wants to be serious all the time? You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
And I'm not saying everybody is. Excuse me. I'm just saying that's me. You know what I mean? And I think that's a trait that a lot of people don't recognize could be beneficial and detrimental to you at the same time. Hell, sometimes at the same moment, in the same moment. So there's a lot of I think there's a lot of interesting ways, and part of the reason why I brought up therapy, partially because multiple people have told me that I should check it out, which I'm not talking shit about it, not at all. Um, but also because I also understand that there are therapy doesn't necessarily need to be you speaking to a therapist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, sometimes playing a video game is therapy. Sometimes listening to music is
Basketball,
therapy. Sometimes playing a sport, playing with your kids.
punching a
Um,
leg, anything.
you know, like you can read, you can run, sometimes work. You know what I mean? Like whatever. uh, and we'll do this, and we'll do it like this. I want all of us. Let me rephrase that. I would like all of us to just uh do something small and just leave like a note or a point, just something personal that you would like to tell people, just about everything we spoke about or more. My thing is just find what your outlet is and use it to your advantage. um as for us, I mean, I I know I shouldn't be speaking for the five of us, but I would like to say that I think I can when I say that our podcast is part of our therapy.
Big facts.
That's a
Um,
fact. That's a fact.
because without this podcast, who knows where some of us would be, or any of us for that matter. Um, you know, uh, you guys have been around for longer than we have. We were one of these pandemic podcasts. You know what I mean? That it's the truth, though. It's the truth,
It's
and
there.
it was a hard time for everybody, but like I said, it's about finding your outlet and using it to your advantage to clear your mind and get it right. If that means you need to find a book, I have a book. I think it's right here. Um, yes. So we don't get paid for this, folks. So here's a free plug. It's called Mental Health Journal for Men by Ryan Howes, Howes, PhD. And on the inside, it's literally just they ask questions about you, and it makes you really think and jot down and makes you be honest with yourself. So look it up if anybody wants to check it out, eh, especially for men. Please, please, men, please know that you don't have to be strong all the time. You don't. It's all right to cry. Honestly, honestly. But yeah, that's me. Next.
Yo, shout out to you, man.
Big
I,
facts.
I wish I copped that instead of the little book of shadow work. But two, you could do two.
Hey,
So
dude, you find it. Go on Amazon. Just get it.
got you.
It really is. I've like I'm not gonna say I'm like super deep into it, but I'm deep enough to look back at certain pages and go, damn, I wrote that.
Yeah,
Like
whatever clicks
if
for
like
you.
yeah, you know what I mean? It's like if I can write that, why don't I see it type shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Wait, you wrote that book?
no. What they like all right, for
Oh, the things you write in the book.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
All right.
Like
Oh, we would have been. Oh,
one of
trust me. If he wrote that book,
That
we
would
would
have
have
been
been
a
getting all.
conversation
I'm
on
We
I'm
just
would
not
have
saying,
been.
gonna
like,
We
lie.
would. It would have been a whole different
respect
conversation. Like, what are you
yourself.
doing,
Right.
Kyle? Like,
Right.
Nah, I thought he wrote it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I
Why I
wish,
feel
right,
I
so
right.
wish.
stagnant. You fucking writes a
No,
novel.
no, shut up, shut up.
Gotta say,
No,
did
his
this
name is
man just live sell a book?
Right.
Shit, I will.
only $8.99 on
For the
Amazon.com
low price.
for the low price. No, like for instance, one of them says, "Who am I?" And this is what I tend to go back to. It says, "Who am I? Step into the shoes of your partner or best friend. Describe yourself in much detail as possible. Who is he? What makes him tick? How does he treat others and himself? So, describe him socially and mentally. Any noticeable mannerism? What is his quirks? Is he happy? Why or why not?" And
Hmm.
I basically wrote it as if I was one of my friends. Um, and that's the page that I keep. These are the pages I keep looking back because it's like these are the things I know about myself, and I know that
How
this
did
is
you
what.
answer the "is he happy" part?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a great question.
I was waiting for you to finish so I could ask you that.
Um,
Or did you
Like,
edit
not
that
saying
one?
that you don't know if you're happy, but what makes you know?
Oh no, it's here. Um, and I wrote this a little while ago, so it might be the answer might be different now.
That's fair.
But I'll just read it. I guess it says, "Is he happy? Sometimes yes, sometimes yes, other no's. I know he's working on it, but he has so much to be thankful for."
All right,
So
politically correct. That's good.
yeah, I mean it's the truth, but that's
That's a
really
good
how I
answer.
see it. Sometimes I'm great, other times I'm not, and I do have a lot of things to be thankful for. Like my daughter and the people in my life who really are there, and uh, my dogs, my family, my this podcast, uh, my car. My health is not the best, but it's not the worst. So like it's like there's always something to be thankful for. It's when you don't recognize it. You know what I'm saying? When you take it for granted, and everybody does it, and if they don't, then they're lying to you, because there's multiple times in your life where you take things for granted, and it's not on purpose. It just happens.
I think we do a lot better at not taking things for granted if we read our flaws more. Like if you play a sport, right? Like I'll use basketball. Say I'm a shooter and Freud's a facilitator. It's like you think about it, it's like yo, if you remove him from the equation because you're so used to the tandem there. Now when you remove them, it's like one, you realize, all right, the ball's not getting to me no more because that person's not there. And then you're realizing, holy shit, I gotta set everything up myself too. So now it's
Yep.
like when that help isn't there, that blank spot, that's an overdraft fee now at this point because nothing's covering that. So it's
Right.
like when you realize exactly how much the little things that people do really add up for you, it'll be a lot easier to not take it for granted no more. Cause something as small as a consistent, yo, good morning, bro, how you doing? That should go a long way.
It really does.
Mm.
Word.
I
Like,
think
really
we
does.
start to see that as we get older, right? That's the maturity aspect. Because like when you're young, you just want to have fun. But when fun gets taken away, now we look at life through the prism of money and how to get money and how to achieve money. Like we don't sit down and think, and that's why the whole pandemic was a lot of eye openers for a lot of people, because it's like that's the first fucking time in a long time you had to deal with yourself.
that
Yep.
was a
And
gut
you
check.
didn't know.
Yep.
Yeah, that was yo,
You
what?
you was forced to deal with yourself.
Yeah, you had
Yeah,
no
Second
choice.
gut check
you
was when
got punched in the
unemployment fully
jaw.
ended.
Yeah, you got punched in the jaw and the stomach. You didn't even know where it came from.
Yep.
But now you have to deal with yourself. Now it forces you to reevaluate what matters and what doesn't, the tangibles and intangibles. Now you have to sort your life out instead of just going on this little hamster wheel. Now people started realizing, oh shit, I'm on a hamster wheel. Let me get off this wheel and appreciate this and appreciate that. And I think we're gonna be in the latter half of our lives where we start to appreciate a little bit more as a whole. But I know for me, for a fact, like me, I had to take myself out of a lot of situations to appreciate myself. That's what starts first, right? I had to appreciate myself because for everybody's describing me as before you do this, before you do that. And it's just like I don't see it because I don't hear it. But now I have to I have to sit down and like I put everything on a paper. That paper was front and back and another page. And then I was just like, maybe people don't see it that way, but it's not for them to see. It's for me to feel it. It's for me to feel it, and it's for me to see it. So once I started doing that, it's just like it's like the Wale syndrome, right? I had an issue of people not giving me my flowers. And once this whole pandemic stuff, all this shit started happening, I gave my own self my own flowers. I ain't asked, and then once I said, you know what, let me not focus on people trying to give me flowers. Then I started getting flowers from different places I didn't even expect. I was like, oh shit. So I'm not doing this for no reason. You know what I mean? Because like we all need reassurance. Men, women, we all need reassurance. So like me reassuring myself and then somebody else reassuring me, or many people reassuring me, it goes a long way because like it's like Shamari says, right? Like if I'm a because I see what he
Yeah, I
did
definitely
there.
said it in reverse.
Yeah, I see what
I
he
wasn't
did there.
supposed to use you at all.
It's all good. It's all good. But if I'm the scorer and he's the facilitator, and then this is like, okay, now I'm on a team with I gotta set everybody up and score. It's just like, yo, that's gonna take a toll on me, and it has. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's gonna take a toll on me, and then you be like, damn, now you appreciate it. It's always after the fact you appreciate something. So what my mission in my life is, I don't want to appreciate after the fact. I want to appreciate during the fact.
Yeah.
I'm doing the work so I could just smell the roses while the roses in front of my face.
Stay in the
Let me
moment.
ask you something though.
Yes.
It
What
might be
up?
a little too in your own hornish though, but like when it comes to these flowers, does it really be that you want to get your flowers, or you just want your respect to be the same done in the same way that disrespect was done?
That's a great
Because
question.
sometimes I don't give a fuck about the flowers. It's the fact that you said I couldn't do it out there in the public. So now that I did it, go there and tell them you was wrong. You doubted me.
Mhm.
You're a fucking idiot. But
Um,
sometimes I do really want the flowers. But sometimes it's just you violated out there. So go apologize out there. Don't
Well, it's
slander me in public and then come in private. Like, oh, you did it, bro.
Validation.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's always nice to be validated, to be acknowledged.
Word.
Sorry.
Like
Uh,
that's a
that,
fact.
that was a shot. That was a shot. QS ain't even looking.
Oh, pardon.
So gotta
He's
acknowledge
clocking his work,
him.
ladies and gentlemen.
Just
Leave that man
acknowledge
alone.
him. You know,
Clocking
but
his work.
it's and that's why a lot of people leave jobs. You know, it's because they don't get that. It's you bust your ass for not only good pay and all of that, but just just to be acknowledged for busting your ass, and people don't get that level of respect. People don't even like. There's a lot of bosses who don't even feel like people on that level of respect, as if we don't all bleed the same. As if we don't all breathe the same air type shit. So
I mean, that's true. To answer the question, the disrespect be so loud, right? The disrespect be so loud. Like I was, like my character has been assassinated through Twitter, like this whole year, by the same person who will give me praise privately. You
that's
know what I'm saying?
crazy.
So it's like shit. Hey, bro, I've been called a demon. Like, my nigga, like that shit is wild. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
not funny.
That shit is
Yeah,
wild.
it is face.
No, that shit is wild, bro. But
Depends on the
Crazy
demon.
made me laugh.
nah, but you know what it
I
is?
don't
Like,
I was
know.
caught off guard. My bad.
but you know
But
what that
everybody off
is?
guard,
Like,
like, oh shit.
yeah, bro. I've been called a
That was
fucking
deep.
demon,
That's not
bro. I've been called a demon, right? And
El Diablo over here.
Demora, right? But nah, it's like now I look at it like, yo, I'm not gonna lie. Like, so I'm gonna take everything you say about me, and I'm gonna look at myself. I'm like, yes, when I am mad, I am a demon. I'm not gonna be a nice demon. What kind of shit is that? You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna look at me from a prism of when he's mad, fuck it. That means I was mad. So yes, I was very demonic, but I don't even look at disrespect like that no more, because I already know that's not about me. Sometimes people be talking about themselves, and that's how they doing their work without them even knowing. They're looking at the mirror and talking to you, but they're talking about themselves. And I've learned that.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, bro, and that's
They
why
really
I don't take it
describe
serious.
themselves, but they just say your name.
Yeah, that's
Projection
why
is a real thing. Yeah.
projection. Yo,
really
we all
is.
project. We all
really
project or
is.
have projected. So me, fuck it. I don't care about the disrespect no more. My thing is, I just want to be understood and respected. You don't have to agree or disagree. I'm just saying, understand me and respect me, and then we could keep on going on for years, decades. Now, I mean, the love will eventually come, because I'm a person that you could love. But my thing is, give me my flowers when I know I've done something. If you needed a bailout plan and I bailed your ass out, It's not to, you know, give me a statue, but just like, yo, I appreciate you when I was down. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
Like,
it'd be nice.
it would be nice. You know what I'm saying? It would be nice just to get that
Mm.
flower. Oh, I'm asking for that one lily. You know what I'm saying?
And
It's
for
not even
that,
a
put the
rose I'm
statue in
asking
front of
for.
in front of your crib. Don't get a statue. Fuck
But no,
that.
but that's the thing. I'm gonna build a statue for me because I know me. I
I
don't
feel
want
you.
somebody to build a statue for about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna build my own statue because I know my worth. Some people may not know my worth, and that's okay. But that's why you do the work. Like, you affirm
Right.
yourself. I give high fives in the mirror to say, yo, for you dope. That's why I say surrounder of dope shit. Meanwhile, I say I'm a surrounder of dope shit. People saying I am the dope shit. So I give myself my flowers. And when people say I'm dope, that's, yo, I appreciate you. You that's like something, that's a victory for me. You know what I mean? Because it's like I'm not doing this in vain. But all that disrespect, I used to get mad about it. I'm like, yo, why are you disrespecting me like that? But people won't see as disrespect as constructive criticism. No, that's not constructive at all.
Or jokes. It's just jokes.
Oh yeah, the same joke over and over, and you didn't edit
Yeah,
it that once.
yeah.
Nah, you dead ass.
It's always a joke till you examine the person saying it.
Exactly.
Well,
So,
once you start speaking on their side, you know, now it was all jokes. Okay, I thought we was discussing each other.
and that's the thing. It's like you see, accountability. We always put that notion as far as the negative. I'm taking accountability for me to give myself my flowers. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving my accountability. I'm taking my accountability to do everything positive and understand my negatives. I'm not just gonna be in between. I'm gonna go everywhere with it. I'm taking accountability for everything. So if I know, like, yo, I gave you $100 and you need, and mind you, you only needed five, I'm gonna be like, yo, I gave you $100. I'm pretty dope for that. I gave you 20 times the amount you needed. It's cool. You know what I'm
I
saying?
get what you're saying, but I don't really like that analogy.
you make it like you kind of like
Right.
trying to guilt trip me, make me
Because
feel
I
Yeah,
bad.
always feel like
that was
when
an
you do
interesting
things for
No,
point.
no, no,
people,
no, 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 no. It's
but
not the
that's what I
guilt
said. I
trip.
get the message though. I get what you're
That's
trying
the
to
message
say.
from
Like,
me.
what?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I just,
That's the message to me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Because
god, no,
that
I
person
get it.
who
I get it.
the person who wanted the $5, they don't even acknowledge that you gave them $5.
it
Meanwhile,
sounded
I
like
gave you
it
100.
sounded like you was hovering that the fact that they didn't have it. Like I
No,
know
that's,
you, so I know it's not that.
you see,
Yeah.
and
That's
interpretation is a
yeah.
bitch.
Nah, but I didn't
Interpretation
interpret
is a
it. I
bitch.
told you I know you.
Yeah, interpretation is a bitch because that's not my body at all. That's not my body
This
at all.
sounded real. Gotta be
Snobbish.
confident that.
Yes, yes. I ain't gonna front it sounds snobbish, but in my own long time, I deserve to be a little snobbish. I don't care.
No, I get what
Talk about keep the change. Here.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But it's just I'm taking accountability for so like as far as flowers, man, whether I get them or not, I'm giving myself my flowers. That's why I fuck with Wale so much. I fuck with him so much. Cause he understands like yo, his place in the game. I understand my place in people's lives. I don't have to question that no more. Because if I'm questioning myself and my worth, it's just like then I have to do the work all over and over and over again. No, I'm here to do new work as I evolve. I'm not trying to do the same old shit.
You know what's the craziest thing about those flowers? It's like that brass ring talk. It's like real shit. Like it doesn't really exist, but it fucking matters. Like it doesn't really exist, but it matters a lot. A lot, a lot.
Yeah, because my feelings exist.
Yeah, cause like over time, like if you're like a champion or a winner at some shit, eventually even the winning gets boring. So it's like the little like just hearing the homies say, yo, I remember he used to torch shit back then. It's like, yo, that shit, it goes a long way.
Yeah, bro, it puts a smile on a nigga face. You feel
Yeah.
me? Like that's
Like
like saying, yo, bro,
thing
nice fit.
is genuinely something good and not some asshole shit. Like you really on some positive shit. It's good seeing people see what you've done.
Exactly, bro. Like because I'm a type of person. I think that's what it is, right? I'm a type of person. I give every single person their flowers, directly or indirectly, and people don't understand that. So when I didn't ask you for you to give it to me directly. You could give it to me indirectly, like it could be behind closed, whatever. But it's just like when you feel like, damn, they're not gonna say shit, huh? Or they're not gonna do shit, huh? It's just like, damn, what's my worth here? you
You don't got to
start to
speak
question
on
yourself.
it, but you better
Yeah,
remember that it happened though.
I'm not even gonna threaten you to say better. I'll just say
Now I'm saying you
it would
better.
be nice.
Yeah, I'm
It
saying
would
you
be
better.
nice.
Like I ain't gonna hover nothing I did. Anything I did for you, I'll never hover it over your face.
Right.
But you better fucking not forget neither.
Right. It's not
I'm not gonna
about
remind you, but you better remember.
right.
Oh,
It's not about it's not about
About the power dynamic of doing something for
Word.
somebody, like
right.
do it out of goodness,
To
yeah,
say
you
to say
heart or
to
whatever
say
have you.
right, to end up saying something like oh, but I did this for you, or I did so much for you. Like that's not. You should have done that out of the kindness of your heart, not to try to use it against me. You know what I mean?
right.
So,
Nah, but
um,
sometimes you gotta remind people because some people really do forget, bro.
it's true.
Because sometimes you give like your life for someone and then they really move crazy. Like, wait, hold on, we gotta take this walk down memory lane. So that's why I said like I wouldn't remind you, but you can't forget neither. I shouldn't feel like you're disregarding.
Right.
I think that's the mission, right? So, Striker says, "Do it from your heart and forget it," right? And I think I've been trying my hardest to forget things.
To forget things.
Yeah, to forget it, just be in the moment. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because when you overthink a lot, it's just like now when you sit down alone, it's just like, yo, I can't believe I did this and this. Like you start to look at it from aspect of doing and the result. And I don't really care about the result. I'm always a person that care about the process,
Right.
understanding the process, right? So my thing is, Mar, you know me. I do shit from my heart all the time. Even QS, he know I do shit from my heart. So it's not about you singing my praises or whatever. I just want you to be like, just know that that shit came from a nigga heart. You not you only get one heart, man. I'm not gonna waste it.
Facts.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna waste my heart just doing things. But some people make you feel like you wasted a great gesture or you know just the representation of you almost. It may not be so deep, but the representation of you, like so if I'm trying to be pure and what I'm doing is pure, and you purely don't do shit or give a shit, there's a problem. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be acknowledged. Everybody wants to be reassured. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what it is. And I,
Nah, that's a fact.
as a like, bro, and Ben had to
People will
deal with that.
disregard you
Yeah.
like they got a whole roster of people who do the same shit.
Shit is wild.
We're not laughing at that. We're
Yeah.
laughing
No,
at
we're
the
not laughing
inside
at
joke that
y'all.
just
It's
popped
yeah.
So
up.
so sidebar. The only reason why like you see like
Yeah,
Ben
yeah, yeah.
laughing and like my face has changed up because the
That's why I
acknowledgement
laughed.
comment
That's
that
Changed
Striker put.
immediately.
He's like, acknowledge me.
Yeah,
Face
acknowledge me.
changed
Yeah, because we all
immediately
know
upon
that's
Your
seeing
picture,
that.
notice me, senpai.
no,
Like
no,
you
I
be
don't even
watching
notice me.
anime.
That's
no.
that's
It's
their those two over
a
there. That's their
SmackDown thing.
tribal chief.
It's a
Roman Reigns trope.
Roman
Yeah,
Reigns
Saying,
it's from Ref.
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's his
I
tribute.
know. Acknowledge
Oh
me.
yeah.
Acknowledge me, and I'll just
You
be.
gotta
And every time
acknowledge
they
it.
keep
You gotta
saying it, I'll just be like,
listen. Every morning you should do two things. Number one, you should acknowledge your tribal chief, the head of the table, the current reigning, defending Universal Champion Roman Reigns.
Kahuna.
Second thing,
Kahuna.
you should do.
We using this time to big up Roman
Second
Reigns,
thing,
though. What is
second
going
thing
on?
is all
That's
hail
a
that's his
King
slight
gimmick.
Woods.
ranting. Yeah.
All
I thought
hail
this was a
King Woods.
wrestling
That's a slight
platform.
QS, yeah.
like,
Anytime you can, all
Oh
hail
no,
King Woods.
yeah.
Yo,
See,
I hear
I
you.
told you.
All right, I'm
This is
done.
what they do.
I'm done.
This is
And
what
all
it
hail
happens. This
Chris
is what I
Queen,
deal
who's
with
in
every
with
day.
me.
I deal with this every day.
The Queen from Queens.
I
Damn
thought we
right, you
discussed
deal with it every
wrestling over
day, and you'll
here.
All right.
continue to
Roman
deal with it
Reigns.
every
Yeah,
day.
you will deal
Roman
with it
Reigns.
every single day.
yo,
But
Mar, you
yeah,
don't know about the
But
acknowledge me Roman Reigns?
oh,
I don't
bro,
watch Roman Reigns. No, I don't watch wrestling no more, bro.
he's dope.
Me neither. But still, I know
You
that.
need to. You need to. Well, gents, look, number one, thank you for being on. We
Yes.
really appreciate it. Like this episode was much needed for multiple
Appreciate you.
reasons. But let's do this first, gents. Why don't y'all tell them your socials and where they can find you and all that stuff.
Go ahead, bro.
You go or what we doing?
No, I said you could go
I'm
ahead
bob my
first.
head forever. All right, so Y'all can get y'all can catch me on the gram at this character. Oh, David just made my joint pop up. Yeah, what that say right there? I think. Am I pointing at it right?
Nope,
You
nope,
got
nope.
it.
The other way.
No,
The other way.
he got it. No,
Whatever.
he got it.
This
Yeah.
character
Straight down,
Mari-
he's got it.
Add me on Snap at Mari McFly Guy.
Oh, it was born.
Photography shot _ by Mari. Catch the merch over here. I know y'all realized my little magician
nice.
trick during the video, but
Y'all Peter went from brown to
when I
yellow.
see the timer, I said, "Oh, I got 30 seconds."
Plug, yo. Plug it in.
I'm not even mad at it. I'm not even mad.
But yeah, y'all can catch us at Fillmore Boys merch, or you can do the 5 platforms and whatnot. Even though I see you like that here too.
Yo.
Your move.
You could catch me at the Born System, THE_BO0MIN_system. Same thing on Twitter, no underscores. I don't really be on Twitter like that, but you could catch me talking shit there. You could catch us at the Filmo Boys on IG, and then you could also listen to our podcast on the 5 platforms: SoundCloud, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and what's the last one?
It's right
Apple.
there, dude.
Where?
It's right there.
I'm not reading.
Apple. It's
that's
Apple. I said
Apple.
Apple. I said Apple. I said
Yeah.
Apple.
We're good. Yeah.
I was not reading. It's from the brain, man. It's freestyle, baby.
Ali used him and he still missed.
Oh man, gents,
Just press circle.
just
Appreciate
press
you
circle.
guys,
Yo,
It's
appreciate all of you
definitely
guys,
a
man.
pleasure.
Keep doing y'all thing, man.
Nah,
I
man,
really-
we
I really
appreciate
appreciate
y'all.
Likewise,
Like,
man.
We appreciate y'all for coming
Likewise.
on. Appreciate
Exactly.
y'all for being in this
Definitely.
conversation. It was dope.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
definitely.
Appreciate y'all.
Guys, let it out.
Well, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jador Sapio and Jador Stretch, respectively. Contrary to what I said last week, none of you have the
The human
mental capacity
encyclopedia.
or dexterity to follow me on social media, so just follow one of them. Just go that way.
That was.
I love it. I
This is
fucking love it.
is.
I love it.
Welcome to the Four Corners
What the
podcast.
hell just happened?
Oh yeah,
This is what
Welcome
we
to Four
do.
Corners of Commentary, everybody. Like, it's
All I heard
just,
was dexterity and
Yeah, then I was like, yo, how you gonna undersell him? Why you trying to sell him?
he just turned me listening.
He don't need.
Yeah.
He don't need they follows right now. That's just what it is.
Don't you?
Oh God.
Respect, respect.
Okay. So I guess it's up to me.
Wow.
Y'all can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. You know, the name is actually spelled right now. It is Forever Thiefing.
Dude.
No, I do not steal. That's all. That's all. Like I said, always look out for Instagram stories. You know, I always have crazy ratchet shows always showing. You know, just always showing it in time. I guess another thing I always tell y'all, just want y'all to go with. Yeah, you know, just keep yourself reassured. Reassure yourself. Even if your immediate circle is not giving you that reassurance, don't hold it against them. Just keep it. Just make sure you already know that you good with it. And you good with what you're doing. You're on the right track. You're on the right journey. That's what I really got to say. That's QS's word on WBLS. Yeah, you can take it from here, K Marvel.
Now
BLS.
that Theo from Power After Hours is
Kiss
done.
FM.
Let's big up Striker real quick. Striker Dragoon. You can follow him on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. He does stream. He's gonna stream. I'm trying to think of the shit he would say.
Gaming.
Eventually.
Yeah. Eventually, yeah. I really like King of Fighters. I don't know what else he would say.
I don't do them like
Well,
that.
y'all don't got
No,
Street
I don't know what
Fighter
else he would
yet?
say. I don't
Just show y'all
know
some
his
Street Fighter.
shtick. Bruh. And as always, you can find me at Mr. Marvel 87 on Instagram and Twitter. You can find Four Corners of Commentary on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok. On Twitter, we are at CO Commentary. And also, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, Audible, iHeartRadio, and all of your favorite listening, streaming platforms. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Make sure to hit that notification, hit that bell, so you can be
Right.
notified for when
Hit that
we
bell
are
or QS
on.
will come and give you hell.
Wow.
My God. Also,
That's going on a t-shirt.
but
That's going on a
also,
t-shirt.
also, just a quick shout out. Shout out to all the guy that's been here, like kicking it with us. Shout out to you, Moses. Shout out to Striker, even though you
Word.
wasn't here for work, you
Yeah,
still
shout out
came
to
and
Courtney too.
took part. Shout
Courtney.
out to Courtney. Also, like he did show his face, and shout outs to Blaze from nothing but the truth. You already know Dylan. That's the
Hey.
brother.
Shout out to him.
Shout outs
Shout
to
out to
him.
him.
Shout outs to Nothing But Truth podcast.
Word.
Like I said, that's pretty much it, y'all. I think we good. I think we did it.
Oh. And heads up. Striker and I will be playing the co-op on Halo. We will be playing through the Master Chief collection. So be on the lookout for that. That'll probably be happening sooner than later. We got a lot of things going on. We got a lot of things planned. We really do appreciate y'all following and staying rocking with us the whole time. As always, stay positive. We are still the Four Corners of Commentary. And gents, thanks. And lastly, we
Hold
out.
on, why we don't got no cool hand signs, bro?
Now we got Wolfpack. We got the
Everybody did
Wolfpack.
some.
Yeah, everybody doing gang signs and
Wait,
shit.
hold on. Listen. This isn't Scarlet Witch, dude. We're not like trying to, all right? We're not trying to
That's
conjure
mean.
something.
We don't got no handshake. We got the squirrels, baby.
You got this score.
Score not mad at all. Yo, that's it. He
Word,
got it.
I'm not
He
mad
got
at
it.
all.
Like,
Talk about we need a mascot. That's what that is.
yeah, they got it. He
All
got
right,
it,
y'all.
yo.
Stay
All right.
positive, and we out.
Appreciate
There
y'all.
you
Much
go.
love.
Hey,
Much
Peace.
love.
Of course, love.